this chapter, you'll learn fundamental theory and procedures of perming, chemical relaxing, and curl reforming. Perming hair is a highly valued salon service and significant revenue generator. Perm products and technology have evolved to include neutral, low pH alkaline, and thiol-free perms, which may or may not require heat. As a professional cosmetologist, it is your responsibility to stay current with the latest technology and always follow manufacturer's directions. Today's perms involve two major phases, the physical phase and the chemical phase. Success in the physical phase of a perm service demands a knowledge of perm tools, end paper techniques, base sizes, tool positions, and wrapping patterns. There are two basic methods of wrapping hair around a perm tool: crokinole, also called overlap, and spiral. With the crokinole method, the hair is wrapped from the ends to the scalp. With this method, the hair overlaps itself with each revolution, creating an undulating wave pattern with volume at the base. There are two types of spiral wrapping methods, base to ends and ends to base. With the base to ends method, you begin at the base and wrap the hair around the tool. The ends are then secured. The ends to base spiral method begins at the ends and rotates under twice before positioning the tool vertically and wrapping the hair around the tool in a corkscrew fashion. Both methods produce a hanging curl with reduced volume at the base. Perm tools come in various lengths, diameters, and shapes. The most common is the perm rod. It is either straight or concave. Straight rods produce curls or waves that are uniform throughout the hair strands. Concave rods produce a smaller, tighter curl in the center. Keep in mind that small diameter rods produce small, firm curls or wave formations. End papers are used to control the hair ends and keep the hair smoothly wrapped around the perm tool. The proper end paper technique will eliminate crimps or fish hooks on the ends of the hair. A bookend technique uses one end paper folded in half. The paper is folded over the strand of the hair, past the ends of the strand, without converging or bunching the hair. Ends are kept flat and completely covered. A double flat end paper technique uses two end papers. The first end paper is positioned under the strand, past the ends of the hair. The second paper is positioned on top of the strand, slightly past the first end paper. The cushioned end paper technique uses several end papers. This technique is called cushion wrapping because it provides an extra layer of protection between the revolutions of hair wrapped around the rod. The rod is wrapped to within 1/4 inch of the end of the first two papers. Then another paper is placed on top of the strand overlapping the first paper. The hair is wrapped toward the scalp while continuing the cushion technique as needed. The area between two partings for an individual perm rod is called a base, blocking, or subsection. It is important that the base is not longer than the length of the rod being used. If the base is longer than the rod length, excess hair at both ends of the rod will be dragged toward the center. There are four basic tool positions: on base, half off base, under directed, and off base. An on-base tool position is used to create more volume. A 1 diameter base is directed 45 degrees above the center of the base and wrapped so the tool sets between the two partings. Half-off base is the most common base control. A 1 diameter base is held at a 90-degree angle from the center of the base. With half-off base control, the rod is positioned half on its base and half off its base directly on the bottom parting. With an underdirected tool position, the base size is at least 1.5 diameters. The tool is positioned in the lower half of the base to achieve moderate base lift. This base control is used in perimeter areas where closeness is desired. With an off-base tool position, the hair is held at 45 degrees below the center of the base while wrapping so that the tool sets completely off its base. Off-base tool placement is used only where you want a minimal degree of volume. There are many wrapping patterns. Here are a few of the most common. The rectangle or 9-block pattern consists primarily of rectangular shapes throughout the pattern. The direction is downward. It's considered the most basic perm pattern. The bricklay pattern positions tools in a staggered configuration. This wrapping pattern can move in any direction and is used to avoid splits in a design. With the spiral bricklay pattern, horizontal rows are subdivided in a staggered bricklay pattern. Tools are positioned vertically within the square bases. The double halo pattern features a center part with 2 rows of perm rods that follow the curves of the head. With the oblong pattern, rods are positioned within oblongs using diagonal partings. These elongated oblong shapes create strong wave patterns. There are also several custom wrapping patterns, such as this partial perm wrap that positions texture only where it is desired. Perimeter, or drop crown wrap perms, are used to eliminate texture in the top and crown and focus on the perimeter and ends of the hair. A piggyback wrapping pattern positions 2 rods along a single strand. This is designed for longer lengths to ensure complete saturation of chemicals. The rods are wrapped in alternate directions to create a continued wave pattern. After the hair has been wrapped on perm tools, the chemical phase begins. To change hair from straight to curly is the job of the perm solution. It does this by breaking the strong disulfide bonds found in the cortex of the protein chains. Before the perm solution is applied, a protective cream is applied around the client's hairline and cotton is positioned over the cream. The perm solution is applied to both the top and bottom of each rod. Some perms are self-timing and others require you to take a test curl to determine whether processing is complete. To perform a test curl, unwind the tool 1.5 times to allow the hair to unfold naturally. A positive test curl shows a definite S pattern and tends to subdivide into groupings. The wave dimension will match the diameter of the rod. Rinsing takes place after the disulfide bonds have been broken. Some perms require a 5-minute rinse. Longer hair may require a longer rinsing time. After rinsing, the hair is towel blotted. Blotting is an important step because excess water left in the strands dilutes the neutralizer and can lead to weak curls that relax prematurely. Neutralizing, rebonding, or oxidation is the final chemical step in the perm process. The main ingredient found in most neutralizers is hydrogen peroxide, sodium perborate, or sodium bromate. The pH can range from 2.5 to 7, depending on the type of neutralizer. The neutralizer has 2 purposes. It restores the disulfide bonds to fix the hair in its new position, which is determined by the size of the rod, making the change permanent. And it reduces the swelling caused by the alkalinity of the perm solution and hardens the bonds in the new shape. After the hair is neutralized, it will need to be rinsed again to remove all chemicals. It is important to handle the hair gently since it is still swollen and can damage easily. There are a wide variety of perm solutions to choose from based on your pre-perm analysis of your client's hair. Alkaline waves carry a pH of approximately 8.0 to 9.5. Because of the high alkalinity, it is necessary to use caution and skill to prevent damage to the hair structure or chemical burns to the skin. Alkaline waves should be wrapped without tension so that there is minimal stretching or straining to the hair. With alkaline waving, the hair starts to process as soon as the solution is applied. And remember, alkaline waves require no heat. Acid perms are in the pH range of 6.9 to 7.2 and cause only minimal swelling. Therefore, it is essential that the hair be wrapped with firm, even tension. To select the proper perm solution, it is necessary to analyze the type and condition of your client's hair. There are 4 factors to consider. The first is porosity. This refers to the hair's ability to absorb and/or retain liquids. The second is elasticity, which is the hair's ability to be stretched and return to its original condition. Hair with poor elasticity will react adversely to the perm solution. Hair texture, whether fine, medium, or coarse, should also be considered. Generally, fine and coarse hair will be the most challenging to perm. Density is the final consideration. Density refers to the number of hair follicles per square inch.